Hello, I'm continuing my visit with my dad, and today I am at the Air Force Museum, or the National Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. I just got here, got a few more minutes before it opens up at 9 o'clock, and parked. Look around a little bit here. They have a little memorial area. Museum just added another building. They have 4 large buildings now that they have the airplanes in, and there's still a few airplanes displayed outside. I'll probably go over there because I saw a few C-130s since I used to work on those. I'm gonna check it out. But there's part of the museum right there. And I plan on showing a lot of these videos for y'all, and that's it for now. Stay tuned for more. So these pads are where the missiles used to be displayed. Now they're all indoor now. It's a good thing because they really took a beating being outside. But there's still a few planes on display. We're gonna go look at those first. Here's an F-15 Eagle from the 1st Fighter Wing, 74-117. So this aircraft was manufactured in 1976 by McDonnell Douglas, part of the Boeing company at St. Louis, Missouri. The F-15A on display. 74-117 flew with the Tactical Air Command units at Luke Air Force Base, Arizona, Air National Guard at NAS New Orleans, Louisiana, and removed from the inventory in 1991. Represents an aircraft from Langley, Virginia, 1st Fighter Wing. This is C-60A Lodestar, first flown in 1940. The Model 18 was originally designed as a successor to the Lockheed Model 14 and the earlier Model 10 Electra. Let's take a walk around this. This is the Northrop YC-125B Raider. Very unusual wing design. Don't think I've ever seen an aircraft like this. (1949). Began deliveries in 1950. This one was used in cold weather testing. Went on display in 1995. This is AC-130A gunship, tail 41626. It has the Southeast Asia paint scheme on it from Vietnam. It has the Dash 11 engines with the 3-bladed props. C-130E 62-1787 participated in one of the greatest feats of airmanship during the Southeast Asian War of April 15, 1972. Operating under the call sign Spare 617, the aircrew consisted of Captain William Caldwell, pilot Lieutenant John Herring, co-pilot Lieutenant Richard A. Lentz, navigator Staff Sergeant John Saunders, flight engineer and loadmaster Tech Sergeant Charles Schwab, and A1C Dave McAleese attempted an airdrop ammunition to surrounded South Vietnam troops in An Loc. While approaching the drop zone, Spare 617 received heavy enemy ground fire that killed Sergeant Saunders and wounded Lieutenants Herring and Lentz. Damaged 2 engines, ruptured bleed air ducts in the cargo compartment, and set the ammunition on fire. Sergeant Schwab jettisoned the cargo pallets, which exploded in midair. Despite receiving severe burns from the hot air escaping the damaged bleed air ducts, Schwab extinguished the fire in the cargo compartment. Meanwhile, Captain Caldwell decided to head for Tan Son Nhut Air Base, which had the best medical facilities. Even though the engineer was dead and the co-pilot wounded, Caldwell closed the damaged bleed air duct and he shut down the 2 damaged engines. So it's a very historic aircraft that came to the museum in 2011. I worked on these planes for over 20 years. Stationed at Little Rock Air Force Base, Rhein-Main Air Base in Germany, and Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico, then Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, Arizona. So this is actually a bird from the Rock. I probably performed a few inspections on this plane when I was at the Rock. Many times. Up next is a prototype C-17 on display here at the museum, which I'm surprised to see these because these are actively flying in for our cargo fleet. Very impressive cargo aircraft. Look at the design of the landing gear on this bad boy. So of course the tail carries the Edwards markings since it was the test aircraft for the C-17. Up next is an EC-135. Sometimes referred to as Big Crow. This one isn't Big Crow though, but it is one of those type aircraft. EC-135 Aria, which was actually stationed here at Wright Pat Air Force Base, test and evaluation. And it has some pretty cool nose art on it. We'll get a close look at it. $63.74. Another view of the AC-130A gunship. Morning dew coming off of it. Here's another view of the museum. You can see it's four large, very large buildings. The third one there with the round part of the building on top is where the missile display is. We will be going there because I used to work on those too.